Match.com and all the other .coms. We don't think of ourselves as that. No.
Not exactly that.
It would be fun, of course, to think of it that way, but I don't think it.
It's not that.
No.
If I understand, you're sort of a middleman, which means that you need not only to understand what your client wants, but you also need to understand what your prospect, your candidate wants.
Very important observation. Sometimes I tell candidates, I don't think that this is the right job for you after I talk to them. And we talk about them. And I would say 90% of the time I'm right.
You're right.
90%
what if
of the
someone
time
tells you, please, Nat, this job, I believe it's for me. I know with your experience and this and that you don't feel it, but I feel it.
Right.
What do you do with that? Do you kind of like say, okay, let's try, or you veto it?
I said it will come, but it's not this one. And sometimes I take a very firm stand on this because it'll be disappointment later. And not only will it be disappointment, it will be disappointment for me in terms of the relationship that I've developed with the client. You do this so often and deal with so many people during the course of a month, a year, or even a week for that matter. You really sort of learn clients, what their needs are, and you learn candidates and sort of what their needs are. There are two sets of needs you're fulfilling.
2 sets of needs.
Absolutely. One is the client's need and one is the candidate's need.
And what if the client tells you, let's say you find 4 candidates which are potential, but you list them because you think this one is really the best and so on and so forth. And the client says, number 4, I really like him, that's the one I want. And you're, no, I don't think that's the one you want, or I don't think that's the one suited for your position. How does that work? Will the company usually follow your advice, or will they say, no, we're going to go for it? And how does it work?
Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. I think it's important, though, for me to be the honest broker, for me to tell a client exactly what I think the strengths are of this particular person and the weaknesses, because all of us have strengths and weaknesses, and also why I think a person would be great for a particular job and why this person may not be. Ultimately, the client has to make the decision. And that's the way you leave the search, with the client actually making the decision. But the truth of the matter is, sometimes people aren't right for jobs, and clients do want to make that decision.
I saw that your firm has tens of consultants, or search executives, whatever.
Several hundred.
Several hundred.
Yeah.
How do they, when you join that firm, first of all, what makes you want to be a headhunter? Because that's what, in the street language, you are a headhunter.
Yeah, I know.
What motivates someone to be a headhunter?
Well, there are other terms for headhunter. You can be called an executive consultant. You can be called a search consultant, and you can be called a headhunter.
Headhunter, I don't think is demeaning at all. It's really you're looking for the right head to fit the right brain to fit the right chair.
Maybe
a headhunter.
Maybe that's one way, but I also think that it's archaic. It's a term that is archaic.
It is archaic.
Yeah, it really is. I think that now you do more than just hunting heads. You're looking for executive talent, and you also work with the client in providing consultant services around leadership and management in the company. But because I think this is a very important question, and the question was, I think it had 2 parts, and can you just repeat it again? Because I want to make sure, because I think that's important to our interview.
How does one become, and why does one become
it's the how and why.
Headhunter?
Well, I tell you,
or an executive search.
I don't know if people really go to college to become headhunters. I doubt it. I did not go to college to become a headhunter.
Yeah, you were a banker.
I was a banker. And at the end of my banking career, I decided that I wanted to do something else. And I was called by this firm to look at a communications opportunity for a major company. I got the job at the company, but I didn't want it. I didn't take it. I'd done this for 32 years.
You were not interested.
But the headhunting company, as you call it, was attuned to really being able to get me to come to this firm.
Or a new challenge, was it? Because it was a new challenge?
It was a new everything.
It was a new everything.
It was new everything. It was new challenge. It was a new opportunity. It was new people. It was a new way of bringing my skill base together It was really, really, for me, an interesting opportunity. And after a few hours, I said, yes, I'll do
You
it.
said, yes, I'm the right
And-
person, and that's it.
And I've been successful there, and I love it.
You mentioned something before which I liked very much. You had a term. You mentioned talent management.
Right.
I like that very much, talent management.
Right.
Sometimes talent management implies some sort of contract exclusivity. Is it something that you could have with your candidates, an exclusive contract with the firm, like they will have to go through you, or you are the only ones that can provide them with something when they're looking for something? How does
Well,
that
we
work?
are a retained search firm, which means that an organization or company retains us to do a search or series of searches. So therefore, we actually are contracted, if you will,
Yes.
with the firm to go out and do the work. And the pay begins the minute we sign the contract. So
The clock is ticking the minute you
Absolutely.
sign. Even if you're, let's say it's fruitless, for example. Can
Well,
it
we
be
don't like to think that it will be fruitless. I mean, it is that we wouldn't stay in business, and we wouldn't have been around for
This is
50
true.
years, as you said earlier, if our contracts didn't mean anything
True.
and if they were fruitless. No, we want to do the work until we get it right, until we find the right person. It doesn't always happen within 90 days or whatever period we'd like to think, but it happens. And I think we're proud of our track record in this area as well.
So now this is from the corporations that hire your services. What happens now with the candidates? Can a candidate just come to you and say, hi, I'd like very much to work in the banking business, or I come from the banking business and I'd like to work in the entertainment now. Can you match me? Can
Well,
you
we
find
try.
something
Yeah,
for me?
I mean, we try to have another set of questions and a different dialogue, sort of what they've done, what are their skills, what are the things that interest them, how do you bring their experiences together in a way that we can help them to be attractive